Michael, we got a hot topic here. It's all about Xbox as there's a Valorant console leak, Modern Warfare 3 coming to Game Pass, and Xbox is now expanding their tiers for Game Pass. This is not what we wanted. Let's get into it. Tom Ivan over at VGC. He's got a lot to say, so buckle up. The console release date of Valorant has seemingly leaked alongside the launch date for Modern Warfare 3 on Game Pass. Riot's first-person shooter will hit PS5 and Xbox Series X and S on July 26th, just a couple days away, and then to follow, well, 2 days away after that is Modern Warfare 3 to join Microsoft's Game Pass subscription service for consoles and PC on July 24th. It's going to be heating up soon. That's according to Exputer writer Exodus, we'll call him that, who has a long, strong recent track record of revealing upcoming Game Pass titles ahead of their official confirmation. Riot announced in June that it was planning to release Valorant for consoles this year and kicked off beta testing the same month. Michael, I jumped into the beta testing. Dude, it was silky smooth. Did you play it at all?
Actually, I'm stuck on PC, so I am playing the normal PC version of Valorant that's been out forever. But I was curious. I can't wait to, like I said, I got the Xbox for college football. We talked about that. So
nice.
Once this comes out in the end of this week, I'll definitely hop on Valorant. I want to see how it plays on console. I'm a console guy, so mouse and keyboard shooters, not my strong suit. So Valorant and I have had a rocky relationship, to say the least.
Absolutely. It has since been confirmed that Valorant on PS5 will support the gyro aiming, so you can actually tilt the controller because it's got that 6-axis. That came out on the PS3 days. So the big hook for PlayStation 3 controller was that you can like aim and tilt. I remember using, we were playing Uncharted. Nathan Drake's walking across a board, and he had to balance them to get across it. It was, oh, like, man, who uses this stuff? The free-to-play 5 vs 5 character-based shooter was originally released on PC in June 2020. 4 years later, kind of finally making its way to console. It was claimed earlier this month that Microsoft is planning to bring Modern Warfare 3 to Xbox Game Pass in July. The claim was made shortly after the company raised Xbox Game Pass prices and announced plans to introduce a new standard subscription tier that doesn't include day one releases. Continuing on to say another article, according to Windows Central, this is Tom Ivan once again, sources, these include cloud-only and ad-supported tiers and potentially the return of a family subscription option. Microsoft is reportedly working towards a cloud-only Game Pass tier that would be relatively cheap and accessible as users wouldn't need to own a console. Well, we did just get the Amazon Fire TV stick, right? That's where we're going. It's claimed that subscribers to this tier would also be able to purchase digital games, which would tie into Microsoft's plan to let players stream titles they own through Xbox Cloud Gaming. Windows Central also confirmed to have heard, quote, very tentative rumors, end quote, that the Game Pass Friends and Family plan could return in some form. Testing of a family membership, which allowed 5 people to access a single subscription for $24.99, a price reportedly considered to be too generous by publishers, took place across 8 countries between the summer of 2022 and 2023. Michael, that does seem awfully cheap for 5 people to get access to, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, for that price point, I mean, sign me up, right? I mean, 5 people, that's like $5 a month. I think when it comes back, if it comes back, as you kind of hinted at, I think that price will definitely see a little bit of a hike.
I think so. And while Microsoft previously said it was exploring the possibility of offering access to Game Pass in exchange for viewing advertisements, Windows Central claimed the company isn't certainly actively working towards an ad-based subscription tier. Earlier this month, Microsoft raised Xbox Game Pass prices and announced plans to introduce a new standard subscription tier that doesn't include day one releases. Modern Warfare 3, as we just covered, is next up on the dock to come. And of course, now moving forward, Black Ops 6 is coming as well. Michael, where do we start here? Valorant leaks, Modern Warfare 3, or the tiered system with ads coming for Microsoft Game Pass? Where do you want to begin?
Well, I want to begin and really hopefully end the ad-based tier, because it sounds like great on paper, right? You're like, oh, I just watched a few ads. And then it's in, but you already know the moment you're in a game. Oh, you haven't watched your daily ad. Sorry, we're going to pause your Valorant match. You got to hop in and watch, 4 minutes of ads. So I'm hoping that one, as you mentioned, sort of stays on the chopping block. Hopefully that one does not come back at all.
Yeah, I'm hoping that doesn't happen at all. I think there is a model where some people would take use of that. Oh, I don't have to pay as much. Okay. I go into the cloud service, it pops, it hits me with an ad, maybe 2. Dude, I jump on Twitch the other day, I have 7 ads to run through. I immediately bailed out. I'm like, I'm not even sticking around for this. What are you doing? 7 ads to go watch? I'm like, not happening. I'm done. I get annoyed by going over to YouTube and get 2 ads over there. Sometimes there used to be a point where I'm like, this ad is 30 minutes long. Like, what is we don't want this, right?
No.
I'd rather just pay more money to cut that out so I can play my games. And I think a lot of us would rather be doing that. I'm hoping Microsoft listens and hears the feedback of this is not a cool thing. Nobody wants to see ads at all. Obviously, there's sponsorship things that happen with us and everybody else that's on the, the networks and platforms and such. So money is money, and there's another way for them to make money. But at the same time, I don't really think Microsoft needs to do this to make more money. Now, let's get into the family plan system because I find that one rather interesting. $24.99. Relatively cheap for 5 people to jump in, right? That's man, that's down and dirty. I'm kind of thinking I can't see that happening. I think we're probably somewhere around the $40 price range. If it does come back around for 5 people to jump on, $40 is still relatively cheap. It's cheaper than what we currently pay right now on a monthly basis. So why wouldn't you take advantage of that for everybody to pitch in a couple bucks and away you go? I don't think the developers at the end of the day would see their money return if we stuck with the $24.99 model, Michael.
No, I think you're totally right. I think that number right there, like I'd like, lock me in. How do I get grandfathered in? But I think you're right. I don't think we're going to see it. I think the other curious part, as you mentioned, there might be some plans where, all right, you're not going to get a day one release. I wonder if maybe they say, okay, well, we're going to keep the friends and family in that lower range, that $35 to $40 range you mentioned for 5 people, but now you don't get a day one release. And I think that is going to be one that I think a lot of people are going to have to kind of struggle with. It's like, do I want to save some money, or do I want to be able to play a game like Black Ops 6 on release on Game Pass when it's going to come out? That I think is going to be, that's the real debate that I'm going to have. I think a lot of people are going to have is it worth to save a little bit of money to play a game later, or do I want to be able to play that game day one with the boys, with everybody else, and not miss out on that excitement? I think that's where these price hikes are going to get a lot of people where you're like, man, do I pay the extra $5, $10 a month to be able to play day one? And I think that's what it's going to get a lot of people.
I think that makes total sense, right? Right now, we're getting Modern Warfare 3 here only in a few days away. We're going to be able to jump into that. Dude, how many people have already played that game, right? Us included. Exactly. We've all been in there. We're finished now. We're looking for the next one. Well, Black Ops 6 drops. Oh, man, I'm at the bottom tier. I can't play it. That doesn't work. For me personally, that doesn't happen. I need to play that one. I want to be in there on day one. I want to be part of that water cooler moment of, hey, did you play this? I went this and I did that. And this is how, wow, did you see that moment? There's the hype that builds up for a day one release. So yeah, if they structure this new tier system, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, the day one releases sounds to be, well, the problem is Microsoft and Xbox have already stated, you buy Game Pass, day one, you get all of our games. First party games, day one. Now they're restructuring this. And we've talked about this a couple weeks ago, actually, on the show. And it's kind of irritating to think that here we go again, Microsoft backpedaling on their words, right? Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it sounds like it is happening. Modern Warfare 3 coming up soon. Console for Valorant, finally nice to see that come back around. When I was in on the beta, dude, it felt good, it felt solid. I had some great games, but I did have some hiccups too. I got tied up, I got hit with lag, I got hit with certain things that just shouldn't happen in a release. So now I'm going, Riot must have heard the feedback of that as well, right? They're gonna look at those, how do we fine tune, optimize for console, and get it going. Dude, I thought it really felt well on controller. I think that's the biggest thing. It's a mouse and keyboard game. We all know it. Like, the pros are over on mouse and keyboard, hands down. I'm by no means a pro. I'm just here to play, have a good time, and the odd time get a couple kills, right? And then I come out and have a good time with my kids, because my kids are all in on Valorant on console. It was nuts. But to see them play and have a good time and hang out, dude, we have like 2 TVs side by side, so we're playing side by side and having a good time. It's a ton of fun, and I think it just worked really, really well. But with a couple of hiccups. But there's no game that ever releases day one that doesn't get a patch. So, right? We'll get there. But I think Riot knows what they have. And then to bring the console is obviously taking quite a while. and I think they're gonna fire on all cylinders. But yeah, it's been already. We're off to a busy start for today. There's always lots to talk about, so stay tuned. It's ITGTV.com.